Do you find a particular serve really tricky to return? Maybe a fast slice off that glass, or you've got a nemesis opponent and he or she are able to put it in that spot so that every time you end up missing your return or giving your opponents an easy ball. Now we're going to take you through the technique that is needed and how you should approach these shots so that you always get it back and always get it back where you want to, and we'll also tell you how we train our players to make sure that we can consistently return that ball every single time. The first part of this is understanding and identifying which serve is giving you particular difficulty. And as a general guideline, if the ball is coming in on the front panel of glass, you want to let that ball rebound. It is bad advice to run in and try and play this ball before the glass, because then you will never get better at that. And as your opponent's serve gets better, you will struggle as the returner. If the ball is coming in at an angle and it's going to hit further back on the glass, then you want to try and take that ball before. Now, at a beginner level, sometimes you'll see a bit of topspin on this ball, and you could even wait for the double glass, but if it's got slice on it and it's going further back, then you want to try and take that ball in front. So once you can see the trajectory of the ball and it's coming in with this angle, and we know that we're going to use the glass, we want to be from our ready position here where the racket is down and our hand is slightly locked in this position so that we can open that racket head nice and fast. We split step when our opponent contacts the ball and we open up to the ball. We do not step closer to the glass because then you haven't got the space to swing properly. We want to open our racket face up like it is a door and your hand is the hinge, and from here we've got the space to swing. If the ball has lots of slice on it, you will need this racket low. If the racket is up like this, then you're going to struggle to get underneath the ball. You want to bring that racket straight down here so that the low ball's off the glass, you can immediately come up and hit that ball up over the other side of the net, because remember, your contact point is below the net, so you do need to hit the ball up in order for it to go down at the other end. If you really struggle with this return of serve from the glass, it's likely you're doing one of three most common errors. Number one is not in the correct position on the court to start with. Either you're too close to the service line, or you're trying to protect the glass in some way by standing here and jumping forward. A, that exposes a big space there, but B, it means you're out of position here to get in the right place to hit that shot. Number two is the space from the court. Now, if you're in the right position, this is where players step in and they try and jab that ball before it hits the glass, yeah, or very close to the glass. The space from the glass is super important. If you get this right and you give yourself space, it's going to be so much easier to swing. And common error number three is late preparation. Often players know it's going there, the serves come in, they're watching that ball go in, and then they try and rush and do everything at the last minute. We've said if it's going to the right side of your body, you know it's a forehand. So you may as well prepare the racket. If you know it's going to be slice and it's going to stay low, then you prepare the racket down. But you prepare that racket and give yourself the right amount of space, you stand a much better chance of getting this ball back. When it comes to playing this shot consistently well in a game, so much of this is confidence, and the best way to build confidence with this shot is repetition. So either, and what we like to do is use the ball machine. The ball machine is great because even though I might be a very accurate server, I'm not going to be as accurate as the ball machine, and you can set it to that same ball, and that way as a player you can get really comfortable with a ball that can be difficult. We use the Slinger ball machine, but there are lots of ball machines out there, and you can set it, if they can hit slice, which the Padel Slinger can, then you can set it so that it bounces with slice off that glass, and you get used to returning a really difficult ball. Now, if you don't have a ball machine, then you're asking either a coach or a good player, ideally, to serve into that glass, so you just build up the repetition. You know the space you need to give it, and you just get comfortable doing that. If you only practice this in a match, it's very difficult to get confidence, because maybe one time the serve goes down the middle or it comes towards your body, or one time it bounces up a bit more and it's not going into that same space. Therefore you can't get the repetition, therefore it's difficult to build confidence. So my aim here really is to set this up so that it's going to fire from a realistic court position where the server would be, and it's going to fire a fast slice. And I want to make this as tricky as I can so that it gets nice and low. That's pretty good. I could probably increase the speed slightly more slice. Oh, that's not going to be very nice to defend that. Look at that. That's going to stay nice and low. So I will use that, oh, don't want to hit the fence. I will use that as my serve to deal with, and then I will go down there and repetition of receiving that serve and getting used to playing a really low ball off the glass. Oh, that is a good little serve, that first one. I wasn't expecting that. Just ever so slightly deep there. You see my racket goes down. See, even this is, you're not going to get much of a better serve against that glass, and I'm making sure my racket's down. I'm giving myself loads of space. I've got loads of space here. Again, good serve. And I'm just blocking this back. I'm not going for anything incredibly difficult. Yeah, that one's just out. And I will just keep doing this. Just keep repetition, playing off that glass. That one floated a little bit. I want to try and get it lower. There we go, looking for that. And you see, this repetition is building up my confidence so that when I get this ball in a match, on the fence, it's not going to catch me by surprise. There we go, lovely. We actually use the Padel Slinger a lot for our training, and actually on the padelschool.com in our membership area, you've got a course of 26 videos of different exercises and drills for players of all levels with this Slinger ball machine. Now you can do it with your own ball machine. We like this one. In there we've said all the settings that you need to use for different parts of the game, so it makes it easier for you. You can sign up, get 7 days free trial, and just check it out and go and see. But we use it for all parts of the game because, as I said, it is a great way to build confidence through repetition of the same shot. The final bonus tip for making sure you are consistent from the back of the court with this return of serve is not going for something too difficult. You don't need an angle that bounces to the fence or an outright winner. You are blocking that ball back. If it's a difficult serve, it's much easier to block back than to try and hit a lob. And so you are just going for a simple action, blocking that ball back, getting it into play, because that is the most important thing for the return, is making your opponents play that next ball. Now we did all of this in the right corner, but it is exactly the same in terms of preparation, technique, space on the left-hand side of the court. Down here, I'm going to put a video on how to defend that in the backhand side if you want to know how to face one of those serves. And up here, I'm going to put a link to the padelschool.com. Here you can access our Slinger courses, our courses on the return, side glass, and our tactical information. You get a 7-day free trial, so sign up, check it out, and let us know in the comments what you think of using a ball machine for your training.